Hi, everybody. Welcome to another episode of My Child, My Voice, Kid Konnection Show. My name is Miss Wendy, and I am so excited to read our book today. Since we are in the back-to-school season, I figured this little book would be great to read about. It's The Koala Who Could, written by Rachel Bright and illustrated by Jim Fields. And our craft today is a clinging-koala bookmark. We're going to make that today based on Kevin the Koala that we're going to read about today. That's what our little craft of the day is, like I said, is a clinging-koala corner bookmarker. So I'm going to disappear for a little bit here so we can start story time of this great book. The Koala Who Could, written by Rachel Bright and illustrated by Jim Field. And then on the left-hand side, it says, "For my wonderful, brilliant, adventureful dad, the most can-do Kevin I know." That was actually a message from the author. In a wonderful place where the day was just dawning and the breezes blew soft on a warm golden morning, in a place where the creatures ran wild and played free, a koala called Kevin clung to a tree. A nicer gray fellow you never would meet, as soft as a soft thing from ear tuft to feet. His favorite way to relax in the sun was to cling and to nap and to munch on a leaf bun. And after all this, well, he need a nice rest. Yes, Kevin liked sticking to what he knew best. You see, high up was safe since he liked a slow pace, while the ground down below seemed a frightening place. Too fast and too loud and too big and too strange. Nope, Kevin preferred not to move or to change. So he clung to his tree as he knew what to do and was never too keen to try something new. So when Wombat stopped by and shouted one day, "Hey, Kevin, why don't you come down here and play?" I think," he replied, "I should stay on my plant. I'm busy right now." "No, I'm sorry, I can't." "Why not?" cried the Ruse, with a super loud cheer. "Yes, why?" called the Dingaroos. "There's nothing to fear." But Kevin, who'd never been one to act fast, said, "I'm clinging to do, but it's nice that you ask." As Kevin sat watching them chatter and share, a part of him wished he could join in down there. But he knew he would miss home. It was dark and so late. The whole thing was risky. Adventure could wait. Whatever the invite, he always would say no. Oh dear, it seemed, Kevin just couldn't let go. So his life was the same no matter the day. The weeks came and went, and the months rolled away. And Kevin stayed still while the world moved around until he woke to a worrying sound. Tap, tap, the sound went. Well, this was a blow. Tap, tap, tippity tap, 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 tap. Oh no! Uncling, the crowd called, which had gathered below. Leap and we'll catch you. Just let yourself go. But Kevin was scared. Let go? No, I shan't. I won't, shouted Kevin. Oh dear, I just can't. Whoops! Down came the tree, and with it was bringing crash and a wallop, a Kevin still clinging. Kevin, he carefully opened one eye and looked up at the love staring down from the sky. Then one paw by one paw, he loosened his hold. He felt springy and light and happy and bold. The worst he could think of had now come to pass, and he was just fine. While he felt quite first class, so when Wombat leaned over and held his paw out, Kevin no longer felt worry or doubt. Like he's grabbing his hand. When Dingo asked, "Now will you come out to play?" the crowd all joined in of "What do you say?" And even though this wasn't part of his plan, Kevin replied, "Yes, I think that I can." And Kevin, from then on, was always can do. Because life can be great when you try something new. And that's the end of our story time with The Koala Who Could, written by Rachel Bright and illustrated by Jim Field. I'm back. Now I am going to tell you the supplies you're going to need. I'm going to stop sharing for a second so that we can talk about our craft of the day, which is the Clinging Koala Corner bookmark. So I'm going to move my camera so you can see everything we're going to need for our little craft today. And I'm going to put a whole bunch of stuff on here so you can see everything that we're going to need for supplies, and going to go from there. This is such a fun craft. This is what we call origami. Okay, going to move my camera down. Now, you see here, I have a cup, just a regular cup, paper cup. I'm using this for the circle. Now, I have two glues. I have a glue stick and a glue. If you just have a glue stick, this is fine. Or if you have Elmer's glue, this is fine too. This is the reason why I'm showing this. Another supplies you will need is some scrap paper. You're going to need a black piece of paper, a pink piece of paper, and a gray. Now, if you don't have these colors, all you need to do is get a regular piece of paper, whether it be, you know, just a blank piece of paper like this, and then you color it. When you color it with a crayon, marker, pencil, whatever you have, color it the color. So if you don't have black, pink, or gray, just color those colors in to make that. Now, what you are going to have to do with piece of paper is you're going to have to measure this gray piece of paper. So you are going to need a ruler to make a square piece of paper. And I'm going to show you in a minute what it looks like. And that's usually 7 by 7 by 7 to make a square piece of paper. Then you're going to need a cotton ball, pencil, a marker, and then I have some sticky eyes or what, but if you don't have these are fine, we can draw the eyes as well. So I'm going to put all of this to the side so we can start with our Okay, now I have this already folded, and I'm going to unfold it so that you can kind of see how we're going to do our craft for today. So I'm going to unfold everything. Now I see how it's a perfect square. As I mentioned, you're just going to get a ruler with a piece of paper and you can measure it, you know. Sorry, wrong side. You're going to do, you know, each side is 7 by 7. So you measure it, you cut your piece of paper to make this square. So that's how I became a square. Now I'm using stock paper. If you have that, that'd be great too. So what you want to do is we're going to learn some shapes today with, you know, making this corner bookmarker. So what you want to do is flip it to the side where it looks like a diamond shape. See how it looks like a diamond? What you're going to do is you're going to fold the bottom half to go up to the top half to make the first triangle. I'm going to flip this way because the way I had it. And then because I'm using stock paper, what I've done is I use the pencil to make my creases in. So when you do your first one, just put a pencil over it to make that crease go really good. And then what you want to do, now you have your first triangle, you're going to make another half triangle. See how I have this? I'm going to make this side, the right side, go up to hit the top of this side. So see how it's making a half triangle on this side? That's what you're going to do. And then I'm going to use my pencil and get all the creases in. And then you're going to do the same thing to the left side. You're going to fold it up to the peak to this side. So it looks like two triangles are on the side. Okay. And then I'm going to use my pencil to get all my creases from the middle to the edges in so it can stay. Now that's just the first piece. And you're going to open it up. What you want to do is the top part of your triangle, you want to fold, because remember it's folded in half. You're going to take the top part, not this bottom, leave the bottom there, and you're going to fold a triangle this way. And it's already going to do that because of the diamond shape. So you're going to go fold towards you, like you're going to make that point towards you. Then I'm going to use my pencil, make sure my creases are in. Okay. Now you have two sides, the left and the right. This side that we've already folded, what we're going to do is we're going to fold it up. But the thing we're going to do different is we're going to fold it in half and tuck it in. So what that means is I'm going to see how it goes with the triangle. I'm going to put it inside here, as you can see. I'm going to fold it, and I'm going to make sure my creases are in. And I'm going to do the same thing on the left side. Instead of going all the way up, I'm going to fold it in half and tuck it in. And once you tuck it in, you see the pocket. That's how it's supposed to look. Don't worry if it's not even or if you get it even there. But that is your little pocket square. So now the paper can fit here as your bookmarker. And that tells you how to start your origami bookmarker. So now you have that. So the back side will look plain like this. And then the front side is what we want to actually work on, the folded side. And as I mentioned, you can get your pencil, go over them really quick. And I'm going to go up here really quick. So as I was mentioning, with this bookmarker, you have it like this. This is the back side, and here's the front side. This is where the paper is going to go through in this triangle. So see, this is what you made. So this is going to be really fun as we put this together. Give me 1 second. Let me bring my camera back down to show you what to do next. Okay, I'm going to move this book here so we can have some room. Don't want to get glue on my book. So this is where now we are going to use a marker, a pencil, scissors, and we're going to grab our paper scraps. Remember I was telling you, if you don't have a pink one, just get a regular white piece of paper and then use a marker or a crayon and color it pink. These are scraps. I never throw away my paper scraps because I never know when I need them. So we need our pink, we need our black, and we need our gray. This was the gray left over from my thing here. And I'm going to put that to the side. So what I want to do first is I want to move my marker out of the way, my scissors. For the glue stick, to make a circle of the koala's little cheeks, I am going to use the cap to make a circle. And I'm going to trace it on my pink scrap paper, and I'm going to just trace all the way around to make the circle. And this is going to represent the koala's cheeks. So you're making a circle. Don't worry if the lines move, as long as it's a circle, because see, mine kind of moved, but we're going to cut this out. So that's the circle there. I'm going to put this back. Remember I was telling you, you need a cup. Get a small cup in your kitchen. Doesn't matter what type of cup, whether it's glass, plastic. I'm using a paper cup that has a small bottom. I didn't want to use this because we're using this to make the koala's ears. So same thing here. I put it on my piece of paper and I'm going to trace the circle. And don't worry if it gets all, as long as you can trace it all the way around, you're good. And that's going to go on this side. Do the same thing. I'm going to trace the cup to make the circles. Let me do this one more time. Okay. Now we've traced our circle. Now the black piece I've already done. You want to use this to make a oblong type. As you see, my marker, I use my marker. So this is going to be the nose to represent. You can do a half moon. However you want to do it, you can do half moon to make it like this and another half moon and just do it like that. That's where your marker comes in. Now we're going to cut these out so that we have our cheeks ready. And that's what I said, if your circle has marker, all over, don't worry because you're cutting it out. This is going to be the koala's cheeks. It represents his cheeks. Go for that. So if you have an adult in the house, it'd be best to ask permission to help you with this craft, because we are going to be using some scissors and some glue. So make sure you ask the adult in your house how to do this. So I'm going to bring this back down. And as I mentioned, we're going to cut this out. So while I'm doing this, what I would like for each one of you to do is cut out your circles, cut out your gray circles, cut out your pink, and then also your black to get that ready for our bookmarker. Okay. Give me 1 sec to actually do this and get this done. And let's get this over here. And I'm just tracing what I traced earlier and cutting out my circles. Now in the book we were reading about Kevin, how he was so scared to try new things. And I know right now it's scary going back to school, but like Kevin, we're going to learn how to do, he actually overcame his fear. And that's what we learned today in our book. So now I'm going to cut the black one, and I'm going to cut out. Now I did 2 of them because I don't know if the size, if I did one too long or too short. Sometimes we have to experiment to see what works. There's one, and then I'm going to do my other one so I can see which one I like the best for his nose. I want one that's a little bit bigger, a little bit smaller. And this is what's the unique part. This is where you can play around with it and make however size you want. But this is the koala. This represents the koala's nose. There we go. Now we're going to cut out the circles. These are going to represent his ears. And we're going to cut the circles. I just happen to have gray cardstock, so that's the reason why I use it. It has like a real pretty shimmer, this one. So whatever you have at home. And if you want to make the koala ears a different color, then go to a different color. It doesn't have to be. But I know koalas are gray with some white, and so it's the reason why we're doing these colors right now. And so we want to trace. I'm going to cut out my circle. There we go. And I'm going to put my scrap paper and my scissors to the side. Now you have your cheeks. I have 2 noses because I'm going to play around with the noses, and then we have here. So let's bring back what you folded, and then we're going to bring our glue stick, and we're going to glue the cheeks and eyes and everything to make it, you know, it's why I put this at the bottom of my craft, because I get stuff all over. I'm going to move the cheek here, one cheek here, glue it, and then I'm going to do my other cheek. So I'm going to put some glue. Oops, my flipped. And you're going to glue it on your koala. Now I'm going to test out, got some, take some of this glue out so I don't get sticky. I have his nose. I don't know if I like this nose or do I like the shorter nose? I think I like this nose better. So I'm going to glue the nose. I always suggest putting something in the bottom of your craft because you never know what you get on the table. So I'm going to glue the nose up a little. Moved a little bit here, and then put it in the center of the 2 triangles, and that's where I'm gluing it. And then now I'm going to glue the ears. So the way I put glue is I'm only putting on the bottom half of the circle. See, I have it in purple so you can kind of see what I'm doing. So I just use the bottom half, and I'm putting the glue on there. Now, if you don't have a glue stick, you can use Elmer's glue, whatever one you have. So I'm going to flip it this way, and then what I do is I put it right here to glue it on the back of here. And see, this is how it's on here. So I'm going to glue it towards the back of the bookmarker. And you're going to do the same thing with this one, this side. Like I said, I did the bottom part where you can see where I put the glue so that it will stick. And then I'm going to put it on the left side. And press it down. And those are the koala's ears. It's starting to come about. Okay. Next, I want to do eyes. Now, you can color in the eyes if you don't have these. Mine are pretty much, you know, the sticky ones that I have. If you don't have these, don't worry about it. Use your marker, your black marker, and draw some eyes here with some eyebrows and a mouth, and we'll get to that in a minute. So I'm going to get my squiggly eyes here because I have these and I want little squiggly eyes for my, and I'm going to set his eyes there. And I'm going to get the other one. I got to be careful when I put this out so the glue. Sometimes it doesn't always want to come off. Okay. And now I'm going to put his other eye here. And there you go. I put the two eyes right there. Ta-da! Now he has eyes. Now your cotton ball, where that comes in, we're going to need this cotton ball. You're going to just pull it apart. Ta-da! Just like that. And get your Elmer's glue. And I'm going to put a little bit of glue on the cotton, enough to like stick. Flip it and put it towards the center of your circles to represent the koala's ears. Do the same thing on this side, put some glue and glue it to that. Doesn't matter where it's at, it's towards the center, and you can kind of spread it out a little bit. Now we're going to take our marker. Now, like as I mentioned, if you don't have the squiggly eyes, draw in some eyes. I'm going to do some eyebrows right here, and then I'm going to do a mouth. And I'm going to just kind of color it in. Doesn't have to be perfect. It looks like a little mouth. And there you go. I'm going to pull my camera back up. And we have finished making a koala bookmarker. And let me show you the book so you can know how to put it on there. You take your koala bookmarker and pick on any page of your book, wherever you're reading with your mom, your dad, or your grandmother. And if you don't finish reading, all you do is you put your bookmarker here. See how the paper goes inside? And there you have it, your koala bookmarker. I hope you enjoyed today's episode of My Child, My Voice Kid Konnection Show. I really did enjoy reading this book about Kevin the Koala. So think about, you know, why didn't Kevin want to play with his friends? What would you say to him to make him leave his home to come out and play? That's something that we've learned today, where he tried something new. He was so scared, and he still tried something new, even though he was forced to change. But if you don't have this stuff there, why don't you draw a picture of, you know, Kevin the Koala, and take some time to draw about it and share with your friends about what Kevin would do different to try new things. Is it something new you would like to try? As we're all going back to school, there are some new things. Draw a picture of what you're going to try, the new things that you want to do, and share it with your mom, your dad, your brothers, your sister, or if school's already started, share it with your classmates. So I hope, as I mentioned, you enjoyed The Koala Who Could by Rachel Bright, the author, and illustrated by Jim Field, and our little craft of the day, the Clinging Koala Corner. Thanks, everybody, for joining us. Wait until next week for another episode of Storytime with a craft. I hope you enjoyed our story and much as making a bookmarker for school, and you can use it for all of your classes. Thanks, everybody, for watching. This is powered by the National Parents Union. My name is Miss Wendy, and we will catch you next week at the next Kid Konnection. Everybody have a great day. Bye.